It's Cena. It's Wednesday. We've got a lot of clouds going on, so it's kind of cool in my house right now. So I'm gonna take advantage of that. So I was walking today. I got a lot of my steps in. The last few days I have not been hitting my steps, but I'm gonna do better because it's just been so hot. And when I get hot, I just, anyway. Anywho, no excuse club, but I've been doing a lot of strength training, so I have been working it out. Like I told you, I'm working on your muscle. Yesterday, I had been watching a lot of videos, and a lot of us have emotions bottled up. And I took a class a year ago of how to release those deep buried emotions that you have for certain people in your life, or they're maybe not even in your life. When people are kind-hearted, giving people, they get hurt the easiest and the most, and that's unfortunate. But I had started realizing that I was starting to change who I was. And I'll give you a quick example. If you give a homeless person $1 and you see him get in a Bentley, then you're like, I'm not giving no homeless people $1 and no money ever. Well, I don't want to be like that. If I want to give, if I have it to give, I want to give it. If you've taken advantage of that, you're not going to get anything else from me, but you're not going to change who I am. Period. And I've learned how to deal with people hurting me, or vice versa. I'm not perfect. I've hurt others, not meaning to. But when you maliciously do that, it's wrong. So, Tay, love you, girl. I loved your video, and so many others. I should have written a list that just really touched me. I do have a relationship with my father. My parents were extremely young. My mother was only 16 when she had me, and my father was 18. So there was a lot of issues. I blamed my mom and I blamed my dad. But here or there, both of them have remarried, and as a kid growing up, I had some serious issues with my stepfather, and not so many with my stepmom. Me and her get along pretty well. Came across this motivational speaker, and I am not a psychiatrist and I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm just passing on something I learned to you guys because I just love you guys so much. And I don't want this video to get long, but I know I'm rambling. I told you I'm an emotional person. I think that's what's wrong. I'm already getting choked up. There was an exercise that you have to get a notebook, an ink pen, and envelopes. And you have to make a list of all the people that hurt you in your life. Even if it's you put yourself on that list. Because I've hurt myself before, self-hate, as you would call it. And you make this list. And then you start writing letters. You write each person a letter. You can write yourself a letter if you need to. You write everyone a letter. And some of these letters I wrote, one person had a 4-page letter front and back before I knew it. I didn't get a paragraph in and I was boohooing, just crying. The paper was soaked. I had to keep ripping paper out and getting new paper because I was just crying so hard. But by the end of that letter, I wasn't crying anymore. And I just felt like, wow. So the exercise goes, you write each person a letter. You put it in an envelope and you address it. Now, when you do this, it may take you a day or two to get through your list. You put those envelopes, addressed envelopes, and you may not even know where some of these people live at this point. Just put their name on it. You're going to put this away up high in a book or something for 24 hours. Because at this point, your emotions are so high and you are drained. After 24 hours, you have to make a decision. Number one, you're going to put a stamp on these and you're going to mail it. Even the ones that you do not know, you can do that. Do not put a return address because it'll just come back because you're releasing it. It's gone. Okay, number one. But when you do that, you have to realize that you may get a response. And if it's someone that loves you and that is close to you, you will get a response. The second option, take your bundle of letters, go outside, get some lighter fluid, whatever, some Jack Daniels, I don't know, and set them on fire. But when you do that, That emotion, that hurt, whatever it is, has to go up in flames with those letters. You're done. You're not letting this person hurt you anymore. You are releasing, and I guarantee that either you're going to cry or you're going to just fall to your knees and just take the deepest breath you've ever taken, because this weight is going to burn up with those letters. So in my letters, there were a couple, and I mean a couple, that I did mail. And I'm going to use one example because I don't want to call anyone's name, because you never know who's going to see this. Because I've let it go. I'm okay now. This person is so dear to me. I respect this person with all my heart. I love him so much. It was not my father, not my husband, not my kids. I love him. I respect him. I am who I am because of this person. You probably can figure it out by now. But he said something one day, which somebody else might think is minor, but to me, it broke my heart. I'm not even going to go into it. It broke my heart. I got in the car. I left that person, and I got in the car and I boo-hooed and I cried. Because I'm like, what did I do wrong? Why was he mad at me? What did I do? Well, a few minutes later, when I got home, I got a phone call from someone else that saw the situation and apologized for the other person. I'm like, why are you apologizing? You didn't do anything. And they didn't even understand it. So I felt that because I love this person and respect this person, I needed to let that person know, because I needed to know why. Because to me, I thought I was the apple of this person's eye. I thought I was everything to this person. And well, hell, I might as well tell you, it was my grandfather. And it hurts me to the core, because I'm not going to say I'm not a daddy's girl, because I am. I do love my dad, and me and my dad have a great relationship now. But when it comes to my grandfather, that man right there, what can I say? I love him so much. And you guys are going to make me cry. But anyways, I want to get through it. Woo! I love that man so much. I do. And even my husband says to this day that I'm spoiled, because I am like, I can ask for anything and he's here, So that day he had kind of snapped, and I didn't understand why. And my grandmother made him call and was like, you hurt that girl. I don't know why you said what you said, blah, blah, blah. And he called me and oh, I'm sorry, But it was kind of like what did I do, So once I wrote the letter and he got the letter, he really read in detail how it made me feel. I'm going to tell you, this is why I love him. We lived in the same town, so within 24 hours he had it. He was at my doorstep in tears. And I have never seen my grandfather cry. He is the most chillax person you'll meet. If he has CNN or the Discovery Channel, that's it. And if you say something to him, yeah. That's just how Papa is. And I love my grandfather. Actually, I call him Daddy. So that tells you how close I am to him. So anyway, when he read this letter and he came to my doorstep crying, he didn't cry at his mother's funeral. And I was there. I just fell into his arms and I boo-hooed with him. And he said, baby, I'm sorry. I did not know that affected you like that. I am going to cry. Damn it. He didn't know. And once he explained why he said what he said, and he didn't mean it that way, and blah, 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 I said, thank God you don't hate me. And he just, anyways, I can't discuss that anyway, because I'm okay with that situation, but it's still emotional because I love him so much. But I'm glad I don't harbor that in here, and I don't think he hates me or he's mad at me for some reason. It was just kind of a miscommunication, and it's gone now. It's gone. So if you really truly love and respect somebody as much as that, you need to mail them that letter. And in the letter at the end, you have to forgive. I don't care who it is or what they did. You have to forgive them. You have to, for yourself. Please do that. And, he was happy to know that I forgave him. And like I said, it's such a, I can't even say it's minor, but anyways, it touched me and it touched him. But it's okay. Now, I'm back. I just don't want ever to have any harsh feelings for that person, because I loved him so much. It could be anyone. I had to write a letter to myself. I had to write a letter to my husband. I had to write a letter to my mother, my father. My mother, I did not mail, because I love her and she's emotional too. I did not mail my fathers. I did not mail my stepfathers. I didn't mail any of the ones that, the only one I did was my grandfather. That was the only one I mailed. I burned the rest of them. I burned the hell out of them. I mean, I put them in the grill, lit them up, put them on fire. But before I did that, my husband begged me for his letter. He begged me. See, please let me have that letter. Please, I want to know if I ever hurt you. So he, you know, I was like, please just let this go. And he's like, no, that's not fair. We're married and I should know. And I gave it to him. And it was okay. We discussed the issue or whatever the case may be, and it went out the door. And I asked, had I ever hurt him? And, you know, it might have been, you know, a thing or two, you know, you said this and, or, you know, something like that. But, you know, we hugged, kissed, and made up. You know, we were fine. But you have to do what you have to do to get this off of you. Because we're letting this make us gain weight. We're letting this not live the life that we should and we deserve. You guys, it's an emotional thing. Emotions are run deep. Men, women, like I said, my grandfather cried. Emotions run so deep. So it doesn't matter if you're a man, a woman. You've got to start forgiving the people that do these things to you. You have to know how to not protect yourself, but to not let people change you because of how they are. So I'm so thankful that I did that. So I'm just passing this along to you guys. I hope and I pray that you all will try this, and I hope it works. I don't know if it'll work for you, but it certainly worked for me. I do not want to carry those kind of things. Stress and lupus do not work. And so that was one reason I was like, you know what, I have to let all this go. It's going to kill me. Stress is horrible for me. So things that I'm carrying around as a little kid. Now that situation with my grandfather happened, I was an adult. And I had just had the twins. So this was, you know, I was an adult. But the rest of these issues, a lot of them came as I was as a child, or, you know, growing up, teenager. So I'm 41 years old. I don't need to be holding on to that anymore. So just as long as you've forgiven that person and you've forgiven yourself and let yourself just be free and just say, okay, it's time to live, then that's all that matters. God, who's around you, and love hard, heck. Love you guys. I love you guys' heart. Hashtag no excuse. Let's do this, you guys.